Okay, hi, I'm Jenny Sherwood,
And I'm Anastasia Hansen.
and we are doing our information consultant project on the Black Lives Matter movement. I think that we both chose this because we've been following this since its beginning in 2013, and we're both really passionate about the movement itself and just all the good that it has the possibility to do and has already done for not only people in the US but across the world too.
So the main website that we consulted was the Black Lives Matter actual website. I guess when we went on it, we had some expectations about what the website would be like that kind of weren't met. Me personally, I expected it to sort of have more information about things like rallies or organized events that Black Lives Matter would have put on, and information about how to get active in that, and different things that that are related to Black Lives Matter. I did not end up finding a lot of that information.
And then when I went on, I expected to find more along the lines of what they had done with their social media platforms in terms of the fact that the Black Lives Matter hashtag has been used 41 million times since its kind of origination, and they don't really have anything like any sort of conversation with that. They have their Black Lives Matter specific like corporation like Twitter feed, but that's it. It's not any sort of discussion between people who have been like experiencing things with it and then going off of that.
One of the main things on the website that we sort of found and had an issue with is the fact that they have a calendar, which you would assume would have different sort of events about different maybe projects that they were planning on doing, different rallies, different things that they were planning on organizing, et cetera, et cetera.
Just group meetings in general.
That would be open to the public to get more information on, to come and participate in. And those are pretty much non-existent. Most of the information, if there's any information on the calendar on their website, is regarding a very, very small scale, just supporting, artists or authors and watching films.
Which is definitely important.
It's nice,
but
it's just not the big organizing sort of efforts that I really hoped I would get to see.
And then I think the other issue that we really found was the idea of this chapter system, which is set in place and ideally supposed to help people who are involved with the Black Lives Matter movement and say, here's where you can get involved locally, which in theory makes a lot of sense because it's saying, here's how you can get involved near you. It isn't something that's a faraway thing. You can be a part of it in your local neighborhood. However, with the chapter system came a lot of limitations on the information that you had access to.
They're very unclear about what you gain as a chapter member anyway, but with most sort of organizations that have chapters, there's usually membership fees which are associated with that. So in the first place, it's sort of interesting that we may have to pay membership dues that we're very unclear what the money would go to, and that sort of limits people who would be unable to pay. And in the second place, the website itself has a section that talks about certain restrictions that may be in place for becoming a member of a chapter. So for instance, they talk about how essentially they really want membership to be focused on Black individuals, which I'm definitely all for keeping the emphasis.
It makes sense as to why
it makes sense for the
that.
organization to try to keep the emphasis on Black people and not have this be something that white people end up taking over. And I really support that about the organization. But now the information regarding participating is limited to mostly just people that are allowed to join, which they are kind of implying might just be Black people. So people of if you're white, Asian, if you're Hispanic, if you're sort of from any other sort of racial background, then they're not really encouraging allies.
Yeah, if anything, it seems discouraging because it's saying, essentially there's that part on the site says, we essentially reserve the right to say yes or no to whoever we want for the chapters. And I understand the focus and the push towards making sure that, like, people don't come in and like white-splain the situation, say, oh, but like here's how we can help, and it essentially is limiting it to a certain population. And while I understand the push for it, but it seems like they're really trying to limit the information that people can get with that, and then it discourages other people who do want to make a difference but may not be a person of color. If they want to stand up and say, hey, I realize that this is an issue for people and don't want to take over. I just want to be an ally for this and make the effort that I can to make a difference with this organization. And I think that if anything, the website kind of discourages them from that because it doesn't provide them with the information they need, and it essentially says we really only want Black people to be a part of this.
There's also no information at all concerning what their funds go to. There's supposed to be, there's a part in a section of their website essentially that says if you are interested in seeing at how our funds are distributed or what we spend our money on, then click this link. You click the link and it absolutely has no explanation at all. So that makes it seem like you can't really trust the organization as much, I guess, if there's really no information about what the funds are going to, especially if you're a chapter member. They don't have any information about that.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of the website is it's not anonymous, but it doesn't really give you information to like where anything is routed. There's for the donation site, for the donation page on it, there's literally like however much you can donate, and then it just says here. It doesn't give you any information about what that goes to, or like if it's a not-for-profit organization, and we don't know, and we searched the website all the way through, and even like for the chapter stuff, if you want to try to contact someone about that, it literally gives you a blank page saying what your email is, what you want the email to say, and then it just sends, and it sends essentially to a server as far as we've gathered, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah, overall the website seems to, this has been the main focus for our project, is this website specifically because of its association with the hashtag Black Lives Matter. I think we've just found that there's a very surprising lack of information when you compare it to websites such as the Southern Poverty Law Center. That website is really good about staying very updated and keeping people who are on the website very in the know about what the organization is doing on all levels, and they have a lot of different features. It's pretty interactive. So compared with something like that, the Black Lives Matter organization's website seems to be a little bit underdeveloped.
Yeah, especially since we took into consideration, okay, we understand that the Black Lives Matter movement originated as a hashtag on social media, but for those population who don't have access to social media, or maybe they just didn't create any sort of a Twitter or Facebook or anything, you would like to be able to just Google it. And so when you Google Black Lives Matter or just look it up on the internet, the first link that comes up is the Black Lives Matter website. So you would assume that is kept up to date and is just as helpful, if not more helpful, in providing people with information for the hashtag. Because if you're going on social media, you can get through, if you scroll through enough, you can kind of get the gist of what's going on. But you'd expect the website for this to say, here's exactly what's going on, here's what we're trying to accomplish with this hashtag. I guess join us in this fight for equality. But it's not really that effective, and that's pretty disappointing considering how many people rely on this hashtag.
Yeah, in the end, I think they have kind of a lot of things that they can adjust to make it a lot better. I think they should sort of get rid of a lot of things and add a lot of things. But yeah, that's sort of our take on it from all the information we've conducted from it.
Overall, it has a strong start, but there's definitely a lot of room for improvement. There's a lot that could be fixed, but I do believe that given the right people focusing on this and given the right, advice for them to say, here's what we really need to do and here's the steps we need to take as a professional organization, how can we make this more approachable and make sure that more people are involved and can get involved and feel like they should get involved with us. I think that's pretty much it. I think we have covered everything. I hope that we, in the future, do get to see this website improve because it's an incredibly important movement. It has a lot of power behind it, and it would be really unfortunate to see it die down because of a lack of well-made, resources for it.
Hashtag Black Lives Matter.
Definitely.